All right, so this thing I'm showing you now is one of the secrets of a copywriter that a lot of people would not necessarily really show you. And these things, they actually like make your copy process, your process of writing copy, they make them like really simple. So whenever you want to write a copy, I would advise that you have a script. I might be modifying this script. I might be sending you this script, but I might modify it first to make sure that it is comprehensive enough so that before I share it, basically. So this script I shared, I just did a little changes. This is my email script, but I just did some changes and this thing. So let's just call this copy script now, or copy script now. Okay. So before you write your you want to, I'll be sending you these things. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to do something, a little kind of scribbling, something like you're just doing like a little note. Take note of some things, take note of some things before you actually start your copy. So this is sort of like I don't know if you used all these is it 3A, I mean 2A books in school that you basically, that they are like lined lines and then you need to write, and that basically all those things that we used to learn our handwriting then. So this is literally like a fill in the blank kind of thing for you. So now the first contact is before you even start anything at all, right? What do you know? The first contact is, what do you know about the problem? What exactly do you know about the problem? The product that you're selling, what problem does it solve, right? Now, here, this is not where you talk about the problem it solves. This is where you talk about the problem itself, right? Take, for example, what you're selling is Lockmal. Lockmal is a malaria drug. So in this part, you're not talking about Lockmal now. You want to find out find out all the problems that you can possibly know about malaria. Then you want to fill everything here. You don't want to make it too long so that it won't be so hard to understand. So you want to fill it sort of like a checklist. If you can put a bullet point, you can make it sort of like a bullet point kind of thing. Do we have bullet points here? Yeah, you can make it bullet points, everything you have, bullet points, down till the end. Make it bullet points down to the end, right? Maybe you know that it affects the leg, right? You put another thing, basically. So you want to find out everything possible that is possible about the problem first. Okay. Now, here's the reason why. The reason is you want to, like I said before, I think I've mentioned this before, you want to make sure that you understand the problem first before you. Now, it is based on the depth of your research about the problem that would make you able to really be convincing to your audience. See, based on your depth of your research, that will make you sound convincing to your audience. Now, you want to feel emotionally committed to that problem that you're writing a copy about. You want to feel emotionally committed to that problem that you're writing about, such that it gets to a point that you actually begin to feel empathy. There's a point that you do copy research to that you kind of feel the pain, sort of. You feel empathetic towards those that are solving their problems, right? So you want to know the problem, even if it takes you having to obviously you use Google searches, you use this thing. Sometimes you can even go to YouTube, watch like an entire video about the problem of, maybe it is eyesight or leukemia or something that you read about it, literally watch videos about it, see the pains that people are going through. This will give you like first-hand not just saying use this thing. It will give you first-hand information and make you feel committed in such a way that you don't just say, you feel like you sound like you're actually feeling it. Now, the thing is, your audience can smell conviction in your words. Your audience can smell conviction in your words. Now, if I am not a copywriter, if I should meet somebody who is not a copywriter who tries to teach me copy, and I know this thing, and there's a way, at least I've had a little experience with copywriting, right? There's a way that I know that this guy is not so good, because your conviction. Now, people buy into your conviction first before they buy into your product. They buy into your conviction first before they buy into your before they buy into your product. So you want to know the problem to the point that you're convicted that, okay, let me, before you convicted to write like a copy on it, basically. Now, so when you do that, I don't want us to waste so much time here. So I won't really be doing so much of all of these things. Maybe like a couple of, I'll be showing you like a live example of a few of them, but I won't really be doing everything completely here, because I think I've taught you guys how to do product research. Sort of, have I? Have we talked of product research?
Yes.
Awesome. So yeah, basically. So now your product research, first thing you want to take note of, what is the product name? Put it here. Bam. Put it here. Wow. Check that. What does your product do? What exactly is that thing that it does? Maybe your product might do a lot. What are the things that it does? You put it here. Wham. Are we together? Are we together? Are you guys? Hope you guys can get what I'm saying. Okay. Now I think. Can you get what I'm? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me do something horizontal line. Awesome. Can you guys see this line? You can see the line I just drew now. I'm drawing some lines here. Can you see them? Okay, let me make it red. You still can't see any line.
I can see the line.
Okay. Awesome. So so that you can actually get what I'm saying, that's why I'm doing this. So the next thing, what does it do? You put that in. Who is it for? Now you're okay, like the copy that somebody wrote about Shane, what was your copy about? What was your copy about? The copy, what was it about? Are you here? Okay, Desire, what was your copy was about a correction pen, not so. Okay, I think Sean's copy was about a product that clears pimples, right? So who is it for? Maybe people with what? Stubborn pimples, or pimples for so many years, who have tried so things, and you're basically stubborn pimples, right? What's the use case? What is the use case? How can your product be used? Where can it be used? Take for example, let's say I want to buy let's use airport for example, right? The use case of the airport may basically be, okay, maybe when I'm driving, I can put it in my ears and make calls, right? When I'm cooking, I can put it in my ears and make calls. When I'm washing, I can put it in my ears and listen to music, something like that. So those are examples of your use case. So you want to put that here. Then the pros of the product. Now, pros and cons is basically like the advantages and disadvantages. Now, you don't want to fool your prospect. You don't want to feign that your product is perfect. As a matter of fact, here's one thing you should take note of. Your audience loves your sincerity. Your audience loves your sincerity. So once you begin to lie in your copy, that is the end of it. Now, here's one thing I'm saying again. As a student, as my students now, please and please, I'm begging you, in the future, please don't use lie to sell markets. Please don't lie in your copies. Value sincerity. There's a way that you can say things instead of lying that would make it feel appealing, right? Value sincerity because your audience themselves value. Some of the audience will value your sincerity, and those that don't, let them go to hell. Sorry for that, but then basically that is it. So you want to say the pros of the product, and then you want to list out the cons too. The advantages, the disadvantages, the advantages, the disadvantages. Let's say the product I'm selling is an Apple AirPod, right? Maybe let's say the Apple AirPod, let's say it connects with any phone over within a range of 50 meters, within 50 meters range. Now, let's see what of the cons. Well, this is relative, but then let's say it is expensive based on this thing. Let's say it is expensive, right? Now, obviously, look at this now. Look at an example of why I'm saying this thing. Your audience value of sincerity. So imagine that you're selling something and then it costs 120,000, and then you're saying this thing you say is very cheap. Or instead of that, let's say instead of 50 meters, you are overemphasizing and saying, okay, over 100 meters, come on. You know that is not possible, right? So you want to list out the pros of the advantages of your product and the disadvantage of your product. Here now, look at this now. The next part is you want to find out the features and the benefits of your product. You want to find out the features and the benefits of your product. Now, people don't buy products based on the features that they have. People buy those products based on what? Based on the benefit that those features can offer them. Take, for example, you did not buy, let's say, Desire. What kind of phone are you using? Very quickly, what kind of phone are you using, Desire?
I'm using a Nokia Android.
Okay, Nokia Android. What's the the capacity of your phone?
Like the RAM or the
RAM, the memory space.
16 and then the RAM is 2 gig and 16 gigabytes memory space.
Okay, was it because of 2 gig that you bought it, or it was because, or 16 gigabyte, Abby? Or is it because of 2 gig that you bought it, or the possibility that the 2 gig can make your phone fast?
Oh, I didn't buy it. It was given to me.
Okay, awesome. Now, I'm currently using a what is this? Techno Camon 17 Pro, and it has it uses 6 gig RAM and 128 gig internal memory. Now, the average, are we together?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, the average person does not care about 6 gig RAM because 6 gig RAM itself does not mean anything. What the benefit of that 6 gig RAM is that what? Your phone, the response of your phone will be fast. Is that not? 128 gig internal memory. I can't eat internal memory now. What is it for? It can take more let's say much more music, more small pictures, more videos, and more applications, and all of that. So you speak to your audience in benefits. You don't speak to them in features. Every feature that you make mention of, you make sure that you immediately state the benefit. If you say 6 gig RAM, make sure you state the benefit of it. Makes your phone what maybe super fast, or super fast is not this thing. Maybe okay, it makes your phone pretty fast, something like that. So 128 gig, this thing, internal memory, you can say, okay, then that one, you can take over 100 movies in your phone, and then you won't even feel like, if the person is a movie person, you can take over 100 movies in your phone and you won't even feel like you have anything. So, and you see how space to do your other things. So basically, you want to speak in benefits and not in features. You want to speak in benefits and not in features. So right now, this is your features / benefit chart. You want to outline the feature, every feature, put it here. The benefit of that feature, put it here. Another feature, put it here. The benefit of that feature, put it here. So, okay, once you do that, you basically you won't have to think so much when you're writing. You don't have to think too much when you're writing, because you already have a scripting of these things in your hand, and then you can go through with it. So once you're done with this, your product scripting, now this is your product research scripting. Once you're done with that, you want to do your you want to do your customer. I meant to do something here. Let me do something very quickly. Okay. Okay. All right, can we see the screen? Awesome. So yes, this makes it look better. So are we together? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome. So you want to do your customer avatar scripting. So you do your customer research, and then you have you make a script for him. Now, what is the essence of your customer avatar scripting? You want to basically have a clear picture, clear mental picture of what your customer looks like. Clear mental picture of what your customer looks like, because what your copy, whatever copy that you'll be writing it like you're writing to one person. So you want to get a complete image, mental image of who that person is, the person's personality, and who he is. So in that way, you can directly speak to him. Now, if you can't effectively speak to a stranger, except once you get to Desire, once you get to like a function, right? Desire, this is you, and I'm asking you a question. Once you get to a function and you have somebody that you want to get acquainted with,
Yeah.
or maybe you hope that in the future the person will be your business partner, what's the first thing you do?
If I go to a function, well, I would do it and maybe compliment the person. Something like that. I'll get to know the person. And for me to walk up to the person, I guess I would have known some fact. I would have done my research.
Exactly. Awesome. Exactly. So the same way that you would not go selling to a stranger, let's say this thing, the same way you not go selling to a stranger at a function, is the same way you would not want to sell to an audience without knowing who he is, without knowing if he even needs what you're selling, right? So basically, you want to draw your customer avatar to know exactly who your customer is. So who is he? You want to take note of that. Well, in the sense of who is he, maybe you can use a name for him, though not your customer. Your customer won't be necessarily named, will go by that name. But let's say you basically want to see him as a human being in your head, right? So let's say you give him a name. Let's say you give him Charles, right? Let's say his name is Charles, right? What is his deepest pain? Let's say peptic ulcer. also for 3 years. 3 years. Right? This is not the deepest pain. This is the problem he has, but it might not be the deepest pain. Unable to sleep at night. I don't know if the tickles are made people not sleep. But night. Severe pains. When he eats. I don't know, but then this is assumption. I didn't do any research, so I'm just putting this in. Yeah, basically. So where does he live? Why are you even concerned with where he lives? Why exactly are you concerned with where he lives? Now, where a particular person lives would help you, one, determine whether that person can even afford your product in the first place. Now, take for example, you're selling a product that costs, let's say, I think there was this product I used to promote some time back, and the product for a full package, the product I think cost about almost 600,000. Now, a product that costs 600,000, you can't sell it to somebody that lives in Ajegunle. Is that correct? Who knows Ajegunle here? Okay, let's say nobody knows Ajegunle. Desire.
Yeah.
Where is the roughest place around Port Harcourt, like the roughest place in Port Harcourt?
Diob.
Diob, or what did you call it?
Is Diob, yeah.
Diob,
is
right?
Either Diob or yes, I think so.
Okay. So Desire, if you're selling a product and the product, let's say it's a drug, right? The product costs about 750,000. Can you take it to, if you take it to Diob, how many people will buy?
The product costs 750 naira.
50,000.
750,000.
Yeah. Do you get so many buyers?
I don't think you even get up to 2.
Exactly. Because what? The location, continue, go on.
I want to say that because that's not my target audience.
Because that is not your target audience. And because that is not where your target audience, your target audience would live. Is that correct? It's not like you know the people of Diob. It's not like you know everybody in Diob personally, right? But then, based on your demography, based on your mental picture, this person, like imagine somebody, I watched a video recently of a poor guy that was, the guy was looking wretched and all of that. I don't know if any other person has seen that video. He was wearing like tear palm, dressing very haggard, and then he was talking to a lady, pitching the lady that he just opened a company. And the company within 2 weeks, if the lady invests in the company, she can make 10 million naira. The way the lady was just looking at, she didn't even need to tell him anything, because what? He does not look like what he's preaching. So even if he has that kind of money, nobody will believe him, right? So if if I'm selling a product of 700, if Desire is selling a product of 750,000 naira, apparently people of Diob won't be our target audience. Obviously, because what? Hardly will she find anybody that can afford it there. If they could afford that kind of product, then they should be able to afford a better house. Right. Awesome. So where does he live? You want to take note of that. Where does he hang out? That is important too. Now, when we talk about hangouts now, there's something we call I think in one of the classes, I don't think it is one of the classes I was taking, I explained something in the sense that, I explained something that let's say that your target audience is people that are within the age of, now age is also important, you see, age is also important. So you want to add age there. Let's say your target audience are people that are within the, let's say what you're selling is an anti-aging product, a product that slows down your aging process, right? Obviously, people of 20-something years old won't be your target audience. Most possibly, maybe it's people within from their 60s, 70s, and upward that will be your target audience, right? Because those are the people that are really concerned with slowing down their aging process. What they are really concerned is they want to look agile, they want to look strong and do the things that they used to do when they were younger. So now, people like that, obviously, I mean, you won't, let's use social media now. You won't find people like that on Twitter. You hardly find people like that on Twitter. You hardly find them on TikTok. You hardly find them on Instagram. Where you mostly find them is where? Who can guess? Who can guess? Old people's social media.
Facebook.
Exactly, Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook these days. So if you're running an ad for somebody of 70 years old or 60 years old and you're going to run it on TikTok, you're deceiving yourself. Except maybe like their kids see it and then they want to buy for them, which is unlikely. It's highly unlikely. So you go where they hang out. The reason you want to know the reason you want to know where they hang out because that is where you go, basically. So you want to take note of those things and you want to find out what does he do, what does his daily life look like. Because some of these things, now imagine that you're selling something that is related to the health need, maybe like fitness and all of that. You want to find out how often he exercises, and that is part of his daily life. So what does his daily life look like? Once all of these things, you script it out, immediately you're doing it, you put them here, put them here, put them here, put them here. Now, you've done your product scripting, product research scripting, you've done your customer avatar scripting, then the next thing you move on to is your copy scripting. Now, the first thing, you take note of your big idea. Okay, what exactly is the big thing that I want people to know in this, that I want, that would really be my selling point, right? I'll be my CSI, my central selling idea here. Now, once I find out my big idea, because before you write a copy, you want to find the big why. The big why. Why should your audience be interested? Why should they even care? So basically, you want to find out the big idea. So once you find out the big idea, your big idea will lead into your big promise. Your big promise is what your headline will be making. So your big idea will transcend into your big promise. Then you want to find out what exactly is the purpose of your copy. Now, this particular script I'm using now, it used to be an email script. Now, under email scripts, there are sometimes that there are some emails that are just simply for welcome emails. There are some emails that are reminder emails. There are some emails that remind your that are basically for your audience to resubscribe to a particular thing. Or there are some emails that are for sales. You want to sell something to your audience in that email. So you want to find out what exactly the purpose of that copy is. Now let me open, like I have different scripts for my different copies. I have email scripts, I have DSL scripts because I write DSLs a lot. So let me open up. I don't want to move this screen now. Now let me open up to one of my my script. I'll be using my email script now. Okay, yeah, I have very short time, so let me hurry up. Let me hurry that up. Okay, so the first thing I took note of is now I'm imagining that I'm writing an email copy now, right? Now the first thing I'm taking note of is what exactly am I? Have I found it? Okay, found it. Awesome. Yes. Okay. Nah, I haven't. All right. So the first thing I took note of, the purpose. Okay, let me use DSL for example now. I want to write a DSL. DSL means video sales letter. Now I want to find out what purpose would this serve. If the video sales letter, would it be that I'm using the video sales letter to sell, or it will be complementing a sales copy? Would it be mostly to just give inform? If it is to sell, then it means that everything that I'll be saying, I'll be moving from educating them to telling them why should, basically I'll be using the video to convince them. But if it is complementary for a copy, it is to complement the copy. I don't need to begin to say everything. I just need to emphasize on certain things and then get it done and dusted, basically. So I want to figure out what exactly is the purpose of my this thing, of my copy. Is it to welcome them? Is it a landing page copy? Is it whatever? So what is your hook? Your hook will be based on your what you found out from your big idea, what your big promise is. So let's say your hook, let me find this thing now. Your hook could basically be like the end benefit of your product, the end benefit of your product. Then what is your body method? You put that there. What story are you telling? Hey, I have limited time. Okay. Now there was a particular time I wanted to write a copy. I wanted to write a copy about this thing, a copywriting course. Now, copywriting is about convincing people to do things that they would have otherwise not done. Now, the story, the kind of story I told is I was using the story method, right? And this kind of story I told was something related to attempts that people have made to control human mind, and they were not able to. I use like mind control paradigm, mind control methods to do it. So I went online and found out researches on mind control. Now, I eventually, you won't believe that the story I eventually told was relating to a story of the CIA, how they performed experiments to try to control human minds, all of those things. Then I linked the story in the second email. I linked the story into I talked the first email I talked about how the CIA failed. And then I was asking, is there really a way to control human mind? Then in the second story, second email, I linked it into the ISIS, how they are able to convince people to commit suicide bombing. Now, how could they be able to convince people to do that kind of thing when the CIA could not do this kind of thing? Then I drew a conclusion that it is not so much about controlling people, it is about working on already existing emotion that people have. So basically, I linked that and linked that and linked that, and somehow, I eventually was able to retrace back to the idea of copywriting. Do you get it? So you will need to find a story. Now, that story of CIA that I used, I did not know about it before. I just went online to check. I was searching on how to, something that was relating to mind control paradigm and all of that. That was how I found out this thing. So what is the peak of my story? Now, when you're using story in copywriting, you don't want to start from when I was 16, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about that. You want to start from the most suspenseful part of your story, from the height of your story, like maybe where the most action is. Then you want to come down, because what it is from the most action, like you start from the end or from the middle where there's high suspense that people would be most interested in. Then you put them, you bring them back to really find out what exactly happened. Because if you are trying to build your copy, build it from scratch, people won't continue reading it. So what tone am I using? You want to find out what tone you're using. Would it be soft tone? Would it be like authoritative tone? Would it be cheerful? Would it be serious? All of those things, you want to take note of them, put them down. Then what am I pitching? Am I selling something? What am I selling? Am I selling a low ticket? Am I selling a high ticket? All of those things. Now, how do I link my story to my pitch? You want to okay, maybe now take for example that part. All right, so like I was saying, you want to find out how exactly do you want to link your story to your pitch. Now, for example, there was one of my emails I wrote. There's no need, Jerry. Okay. So there was one of my emails that I wrote. Now there are different ways to transition into this thing. Now imagine that you wrote that kind of story. Now I told that kind of CIA story. Now there's a way that how can I actually link from that one into another one? I can say, what does this relate to you? How does this relate to business? How does this relate to sales? How does this relate to, why should this concern you? Maybe ask all of those things are ways to transition from, you can, most of the time you transition from a this thing with a question. Sometimes you transition with a simple statement, or maybe you say, now here's the gist, or now listen to this, or hear this. What, all of those things are ways to transition, basically. Then you want to find out, what is your CTA? What is your call to action? What exactly are you telling them to do? Now, a lot of times you don't want to use things like you don't want to use the things like buy now. When we get to CTA, I will still tell you ways to actually use your CTA. So, but whatever CTA you want to, whatever CTA means call to action, whatever action you want them to take, you want to put it out. Then find a way to refine that action. Now, this thing is basically what we call your copy script. Once you're able to do all of this, writing your copy will be very, very easy. Now, another part that you might want to take note is my testimonial. I told you guys I was going to. Now, when you have your testimonial, a lot of times I get questions about when should my testimonials come? Like, when should I put my testimonial? Testimonial means like things things that people have said about a particular product and all of that stuff. Now you can use your testimonial to start the beginning of your copy. You can use your testimonial to be at the middle. You can use your testimonial to end it. Using your testimonial to start it to mean that what you'll be transitioning from that story of your testimonial, and you'll be using that testimonial to tell your other stories and making your offer. Then another testimonial can even come after. You can put it in the middle of your copy when you're explaining everything, and then you say, you don't believe me? Here's proof. You put the video or the image or the this thing before and after picture. All of those things. So the basic pattern is, okay, you know that, okay, first thing, you have headline. Second thing, you have body. Next thing, you have whatever. But out of that, your body, you need to, what story am I telling? You find out what story you're telling. Put it down here. Put it down here. Your story. What story am I telling? Put it down. What is the height of my story? What's the peak of my story? You put it down. Like that, like that. So you script everything down this way with this script that I've given you now. I'll save this script right now. You put it down, then in that way, it makes your copy process very easy. And then it makes your copy flow, because once you know the beginning, once it gets to the point that since you already know the pros and cons of your product, you can be talking about the pros and cons in the listing, and then the disadvantage of other products versus the advantage of your product. Then the features and the benefits, you can put that one there. You can be using that one to be doing freestyle in your copy, small, using it as freestyle in your copy, and like that, basically. So now I hope I have communicated. Has that been helpful in a way? Desire, has that been helpful? Has that been helpful?
Yes, sir. In a way.
In a way.
Sure, I do.
Okay, ask your questions. Yeah, ask your question.
The customer avatar script. What if we are writing a copy that is addressing more than one person?
Your copy will definitely address more than one person. but you want to find out what your ideal customer looks like. Because all of your customer, whatever products that you are selling, the customer that you are selling that product to, they will have some things in common. Do you get it? If you're selling a product of 7 million naira, then whoever will be buying your product, one thing they will have in common is that they are rich. Is that not so? If they are buying
Yes, sir.
if they are buying, let's say, ulcer, what do they have in common? They have ulcer. If it is stage 2 ulcer, then if you're what are this thing? If it is stage 2 cancer, what are the symptoms of stage 2 cancer? They have them in common now. Simple. You just basically, you want to make your copy look like you're writing to one person. Obviously, you're not writing to just one person, but you want to talk like you're writing to one person. Do you get it? Do you get it?
Yes, sir.
So your customer avatar doesn't necessarily mean it's just one person you're writing to. It basically means that there is a particular circle, a particular way, things that your ideal customer has in common. Is that good?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions? It seems like you still have some questions. Go on if you have some questions.
For now, no more questions, sir.
Okay. Desire, questions? Questions?
No questions. No.
Okay, so Oluwaseun, should I assume that I've been able to solve your problem of what should come, where should come, and what should come first and where it should come? That's stuff you made mention of in the group during the call. Should I assume that we've been able to answer that question?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So with that, can we call it
Yes, sir.
a day or an evening, whatever? Are we good to go? Are we good to go?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'll be sending this this script. Would you guys be needing? Do I need to send this?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll be sending the script right into the group. Then I'll be needing you guys, if you can even print it if you want. So if you can't print it, that's fine. I'll be needing you guys to use this script, right? You don't even write a copy. Just that your copy, that your particular product that you're selling. What I want you to do is to fill in this script for me. Fill up this script and let me see what it looks like, what your filled copy of your script, the script looks like. Is that fine? Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. So that is it for the evening. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good night rest.